Welcome to Goaltending Unlocked. I'm Kasimir Kaskisuo, professional goaltender, spent the last 4 years with the Toronto Maple Leafs organization. And in this video series, I'm going to go through different aspects of goaltending and what my thoughts are on them. And I thought no better way to start the first episode is to go through the very controversial RVH that's been very helpful for me when used correctly, but obviously can get you in a lot of trouble if not used properly, and it'll really expose you and leave you feeling locked. So I think RVH is a great tool in the toolbox, but it's like a screwdriver and a hammer. You have to have the right one to use it. For me, it really helps with plays in tight, dead angle shots. But one thing I have to always focus on is I can't drop in too early, because then that will I'm stuck in that position and guys can go high, and if they move it, it's hard to get out of the RVH back to your feet. When done properly, RVH really helps with wraparounds, plays in tight, dead angle shots, and pretty much everything around the post that is very close to you. I've seen a lot of goalies starting to kind of default into the RVH, and when the player has the puck on the boards, they're already down on their post. And I think we saw a lot of that in this year's playoffs when players started to exploit that and really go high. Even though there's a small window to hit your shot, kind of made them look like bad goals. And of course, Twitter's on fire when the goalie's on the RVH lets in a bad goal, especially in the playoffs. I think that's what kind of made RVH as controversial as it is when guys just do it wrong. It's all about the feel, and you have to read the play. So when the puck is way too far out or kind of in the middle, you can't beat down on your post and blocking it. So for me, I kind of use it with wraparounds, and when the puck is really in a dead angle, I feel comfortable in the RVH that I have everything covered and kind of can control the rebounds as well. So I have some clips of myself on the ice kind of working on the different aspects of RVH and post play. So I'm going to roll that tape and kind of walk through kind of what I'm seeing and how I'm feeling in those positions. So here you see me on the glove side, and when the puck's on a dead angle, you can really see that there's not a whole lot of space. And this is where RVH really comes in handy and is very effective when done properly. You pretty much cover the whole net. There's nothing to shoot at. But here you can see how small the angle is for the puck. And I just have the right amount covered. So if the player starts to move more in the middle, RVH won't be as effective anymore. Here's the same thing on the blocker side. You can see I have pretty much everything covered. No chance for puck to squeak through there, and you can still keep active hands. One thing, if you feel a little tight and locked in this RVH position, you can bring your post elbow out and kind of free your hands that way, especially if the puck's a little farther away but in a dead angle. Helps you control the rebounds and kind of catch the pucks and use your blocker as well. Just kind of free that elbow out and be active with your hands. And like I said, RVH is very effective when the puck's down low. But here you can see when the puck's in the face-off dot, it opens up the whole far side. So you definitely shouldn't be in the RVH when the puck's on the face-off dot lane. One thing I also like to do other than the RVH is on the glove side, just do a normal VH. But this is when I feel like it's almost a tighter angle than on the RVH to really minimize the short side leakage, I would say. So that your pad is up there, just covering everything that might squeak through the elbow and between the hip. When you keep your glove on top of your pad, it kind of covers the whole short side. Same thing on the blocker here. I don't think I would use this as much. I just don't feel that comfortable in the blocker side when you can't bring your glove up to cover the short side top shelf. I say I use the RVH a lot in wraparounds, but it's also a read. You can't, if the player has a lot of time and he's not attacking, then you have to move on your feet. But when he's threatened to attack the net, you have to lay it down, hit the RVH, and that's when the stick placement is very important, especially on the glove side here. Make sure to bring your blade out, your backhand, and be active to cover any passes or the attack. And on the blocker side, I drop my paddle down and use that to try to take as much space away from the player. One big thing I really like the RVH is if there is a pass out from a dead angle, you're already on your knees and all it takes is a little slide to the middle and you don't lose any coverage. It's very simple to get there. Your body movement is very controlled. Other than from a VH, you can see here, you kind of have to drop your knee that you're pushing with, and very hard to control that you're going to get to the right spot without opening any holes. So there's pretty much 3 different ways you can get to your post with your skate and your leg. I like to hit the post with my toe ties. I just use a pretty basic skate lace, not the bungee ones. I feel like I have more control when it's a classic skate lace. But that way feel like I have everything covered on the post and I can really control my push outs as well. The one thing I've seen a lot of guys use is hit the blade on the post, but that exposes a big area there and I feel like it's like a vacuum sucking pucks in from this small little angle between your pad and the post. It's easy to get scored on there and makes you look really bad. And one thing, especially Rask does this, is that he kind of lands in there with his ankle, so his toes are inside the net. I've heard this is really good for your hips, and if you kind of struggle getting your hips over to the post, it kind of naturally gives you a better coverage without that. It makes you feel more comfortable in there. But for me, every time I've used this one, I kind of struggle pushing off from inside the net and also with on ice coverage here next to the post. But the important thing about RVH is you have to keep practicing on all those 3, how you get to the post. You're not going to hit it perfect every time. So the big thing is to work on all those 3 scenarios so you're comfortable when in the game you're in a rush and you just try to get there, and then all of a sudden your blade hits the post when you want it to be inside. So you have to be ready to use all those 3 and kind of survive. So that's pretty much it. I mean, like I said, this is just how I see the game and how I feel about using these different techniques. So I'm sure some of you guys feel a little different, but I'd love to hear you guys' opinions on the RVH in the comments. Just that's a pretty hot topic for sure in the goaltending today. So I would say it's definitely a great tool, but you can't use it all the time. It's definitely helped my game a lot. Be comfortable in the post and have that full coverage. So definitely a skill that you have to master to play at the top level, but definitely can get you into trouble if used incorrectly. So, but in this video series, Goaltending Unlocked, I'll be going through different things about goaltending. If you have any ideas what you want me to go through, drop those in the comments as well. Remember to subscribe, and I'll hope to see you soon.